Really? Did you think this guy was on your side?
Hit me! Ladies and gentlemen, get into it! It's love time! Man, you know. Get into it, get on up!
Hey, where you going? Come here, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Let me go, dickhead!
Watch your mouth. You were going to juvenile hall for a Butterfingers, is that it?
Look around, man. All the cops are into something. It's Christmas. You could steal City Hall.
Haven't you looked the other way? That's what's going on right now with all this protesting and rioting and defund the police and all that kind of stuff, not realizing that those things that you're asking for will affect the community that you think that you're defending. What will happen if there were no police? What would happen if you got your way? Because a lot of lives are being forgotten right now. And those lives are the lives of the unborn. I'll tell you what, if Black Lives Matter, then something would be done about these clinics. Because you're out there protesting, wanting to defund the police. Because I'll tell you what, the Popo isn't killing as many people as Planned Parenthood is. If you look at where those clinics are, in the communities where they are, look up the statistics yourself and tell me, could you support a system that kills babies within a population where you're saying that it matters? It makes no sense. Wake up, people. Would you support it? Tell me. This video was sent to me by my sister up there in Brooklyn. And if you see, they are protesting Black Lives Matter. But tell me, can you point out how many black people are actually in the crowd? Come on, it's a manipulation is what it is. I'm not saying that these people don't genuinely care. However, if you really did care, as I've always said, go protest somewhere else. If you look right there in the left-hand side of this video, you will see that as they're marching by, those people that are in that neighborhood are ridiculing them. And I got that as firsthand information. No one asked you people for your opinion. I'm sorry to say it that way, but it's true. You're fighting the wrong thing and you're being carried away, being manipulated is what it is by this movement who's making money and more money and money, and it's not going back into the neighborhoods. If they get the millions of dollars that they get, I guarantee you, the $1 billion that de Blasio is saying that he's going to put into the community, into youth services, I can guarantee you that a large portion of that will go to Planned Parenthood. For what? To kill more black babies. Let's be real about it. Come on. All right, let me just make this clear right here. When I talk about money, this is what this whole thing is all about. Have you ever seen that most of the argument is about inequality in wages and all this kind of stuff? To me, none of it exists. I think you make your own way and you can succeed in anything that you can put your mind to. It doesn't matter what the color of your skin is. Right here, look at this. Number 6, Planned Parenthood stands accused of jeopardizing the health and safety of women and girls. They have been accused by pro-life advocacy groups of abetting the sex trafficking of minor girls, and at least 4 affiliates have been similarly accused of neglecting the health and safety of patients. Now, I did mention before that they do very little when it comes to prenatal. There was this fallacy that they did mammograms, which they don't. They don't do any of that. Planned Parenthood is a money-making business. It's used to funnel. Now, you may look online and say, oh, no, that's not true. You wouldn't believe the amount of money that Planned Parenthood gets. Just up here, and this is from several years ago. Here, I'll just show you this. Planned Parenthood has become a $1 billion organization, on the backs of taxpayers. They earned $128 million in revenue with over $1.4 billion in net assets last year. In the same year, federal and state governments gave them over $528 million to fund their lucrative programs. Just the same way as I said in my previous video that the money that you donate to Black Lives Matter through Act Blue does get funneled back into Democratic campaigns. And do you know that, of course, that PP does lobby And they give money also to Democratic campaigns. It's all about an agenda, not only just to kill babies, but it's also an agenda to make money. Abortions are big money. I want to pose a question, and this question is geared to these white kids, these young black kids that are out there. And the reason why I said white kids first is because what I've seen out there personally is a lot of white kids with signs that say Black Lives Matter. These are the same folks that will probably be out somewhere doing right to choose protest also. The same people that wear those pink hats or whatever it is that it is. So the same people that are holding up Black Lives Matter will also wear the pink hats because it's my body, my choice, or whatever it is. Now tell me, if you really knew what was going on with PP, would you still support it? Knowing that they're still in poor neighborhoods, poor minority neighborhoods, killing those lives that you're defending, that you're saying matters. I know I need to hammer the point because I want you folks to realize what's really happening here. You're being led by the nose for a cause who's behind your back is doing something else.
Look around, man. All the cops are into something. It's Christmas. You could steal City Hall.
Admire Margaret Sanger enormously. Her courage, her tenacity, her vision.
Her vision, Margaret Sanger's vision. Number 1, but for my view, I believe that there should be no more babies. Interview with John Parsons, 1947. Number 2, the most merciful thing that the large family does to one of its infant members is to kill it. Woman and the New Race, Chapter 5. Number 3, we don't want the word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population. That was a letter to Dr. Clarence J. Gamble, December 10th, 1939. Check it out. You can find it online. Still think that these folks are on your side?
Another of my great friends, Ellen Chesler, is here, who wrote a magnificent biography of Margaret Sanger called Woman of Valor.
It's called Margaret Sanger, an autobiography, published 1938. I accepted an invitation to talk to the women's branch of the Ku Klux Klan. I was escorted to the platform, was introduced, and began to speak. In the end, through simple illustrations, I believed I had accomplished my purpose. A dozen invitations to speak to similar groups were proffered. Whoa.
And when I think about what she did all those years ago in Brooklyn, taking on archetypes, taking on attitudes and accusations flowing from all directions.
The similarities are astounding. Hillary gets the Margaret Sanger Award, a woman that was, according to Hillary, was persecuted, and she took him out. Wait, aren't you doing the same thing there? Benghazi, anyone?
I am really in awe of her.
I am in awe that you're not in jail.
And there are a lot of lessons that we can learn from her life.
Isn't it amazing that one of the most evil women of our lifetime is receiving an award titled for one of the most evil women of yesterday?
And from the cause she launched and fought for and sacrificed so greatly.
Number 16. These 2 words, birth control, sum up our whole philosophy. It means the release and cultivation of the better elements in our society and the gradual suppression, elimination, and eventual extinction of defective stocks, those human weeds which threaten the blooming of the finest flowers of American civilization. Margaret Sanger, Highlights in the History of Birth Control, October 1923. Still think these folks are on your side? So for those folks who believe that Black Lives Matter, think again. Because if you support this organization, your other stance can't possibly be true. You can't serve both God and the devil. It can't be done. Wake up and realize what's really happening, okay? You're being blinded by a movement that has another agenda. Got something going on. They're stealing City Hall, folks. Look, I'm just polishing the surface before I scratch it. So stay tuned. If you got support from me, please send it on out. I am the Monster Gemma, KSG. This is SOCKS. That's the way it is. And I always try to give it to you the way it is. Shout outs to my man, Arnie Beiser. Also to Tom and Carol. Deplorable TD, my man Rob up there in New York City. And I want to give thanks to my sister who sent me that video. Also want to give a special shout out to my wife who does support me in my craziness. All right, I love you all. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button. All right, or you can follow me on Twitter at MonsterJammaKSG. Love you all. Thank you for joining in. Baruch Hashem and amen.